Hello,
World,
this is Tech Futurist, and I'm your host Jack, and my co-host.
Jacob.
We are two recently graduated college students. I mean, albeit he graduated 2 years ago, me literally this year, but I would still say we're recently
Oh, I was
graduated.
last year. That's not 2 years.
It felt 2 years. Okay, the pandemic really
It,
messes with your
it,
mind.
it really has.
It literally it doesn't feel like, if anything, it doesn't feel like October at this point. Besides the weather, like
It feel no, not even the weather. For us right now, it's 58 degrees Fahrenheit,
yeah.
and we're mid October.
Yeah. But anyway, like the only reason why I know it's October is because one, being all the
Halloween decorations.
uh, two, tech that's coming out in October or that came out in October,
Yes.
and three, the weather.
And four pumpkin spice lattes are now in
Oh my god.
Starbucks.
I saw that the beginning, like October 1st. I was like, great, basic bitch month. But
I do want to say that at least I don't get it. You, I think it depends on your mood.
Well, okay. If you're talking about getting the coffee, yes, it depends on my mood if I want to get the coffee or not. But yeah. So today or this week, rather, we'll be talking about basically what happened between from last week and this week since the recording. And what has happened since the recording was the Apple event.
Yes, but
Uh,
before we get into that,
mhm.
let's start with any new tech that we got.
Oh, our good segment called "Any New Tech," or
Yes.
we're gonna have a better name for it, but it's a segment that we want to do.
Yeah, a work in progress,
Work in progress.
where we
Name
just
it.
kind of go over any new tech that we got or started using.
So, if you guys haven't noticed, uh, I hope, I seriously, sincerely hope that our audio
Me too.
quality has gone is better. Because
We got new
we
mics.
got new mics. Uh,
We have pop filters now.
we have actual mics instead of our either headphone headset or Mac or computer microphone, internal microphone. And
Yeah, which means that at least I said last week or last episode that I use Bose headphones
mhm,
so much. But
mhm.
when I use the microphone, it changes the quality because it's also listening for audio.
Yeah.
Now that I'm using this wonderful new microphone, I get the full quality of the Bose headphones Quiet Comfort 35 too.
Me over here is using a earphones mainly because we are recording off of my system, and I want to be sort of on top of audio from your side and my side and everything else.
Yeah.
And I don't want to, like, I've been well, I tested it with the mics, with the earphones, and I don't want to change up anytime soon, just so we can have a smooth recording for the first few weeks, until I figure out a better way of recording. But hey, if you guys have any recording tips or anything, leave in
Let
the
us know.
comments. Yeah, let us know. Leave in the comments. I only have a MacBook Pro currently, but I do plan on building my own PC. Even though
Eventually.
even though I'm such an amateur in that field, still plan on doing so. But anyways,
Uh, Other new things is I got a wonderful gaming chair picked out by Jack.
yes, he came up to me saying, "Hey, I know you're into chairs because you've been eyeing a
I know
chair."
you're into chairs.
Well,
Big chair boy.
gaming chairs in that particular way. Because
Yeah,
I have been
because
eyeing.
like we hear about chairs, we hear about the secret lab chairs, we hear about this,
Yeah,
we hear about
that's the
that,
chair I've
and
been eyeing on, and
yeah, and he plans on getting. And I mean, Jack is currently sitting on one right now, but
what do
my
you mean I'm
previous
sitting
chair
on?
was
Okay, okay.
I
preface.
was about to say what I used to sit
Okay,
on.
but were you saying when I said I'm eyeing on Secret Labs, I'm about to get it? Then he say I'm sitting on it. So I want to
No,
preface.
no, no, no.
I want to preference is that I'm sitting in a stool-like chair that doesn't have a back, and I bought a
A purple.
yeah, a purple to for as a cushion because it doesn't have any cushion whatsoever.
Yes, my last chair was also a stool that I put together because my table came with them. And it was at the point where it didn't have any cushion anymore because I also sit in it for work.
Mm-hmm.
So for the past, what, when did the pandemic start? Basically, like
Mid
January,
March,
February?
mid March.
Well, no, I think it was mid February where I had to start working from home.
Oh,
Um,
I mean, okay, well, I'm saying like mid March is when everyone was a complete lockdown. Mid March.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But it was basically like end of February where
Precautions were
I
taken.
started
Some
working
like some
from
companies
home.
were taking precautions at that point. Yeah,
Yeah. I've been sitting on the stool every single day for about 10 months now. Eight,
8 months.
months.
Yeah,
So my cushion
it's
looks
non-existent
like a banana almost.
because it caved in from sitting
And
on it too much.
yeah, and my back didn't like that. And I finally was like, you know what? I need something new. So I asked Jack, hey, I know you, because we talk about so much stuff. And we had conversations about chairs before. I was
Uh,
like,
yeah, and I was
find
looking into
me
chairs
a chair below $200
all around it at least.
around it. And
Because
he found me the Respawn RSP 200
yeah, um, originally I was like, if you want
in
a
blue because blue is my favorite color.
yeah, originally I was like, "You have a chair?" I was like, "Yes." Like you're like, "No, I don't want a Secret Labs because that thing is like it is, for $400 to $500. It's not
Yeah.
cheap, but it's one of
Not
the
saying it's bad. I have a friend who said that he got one and he loves it.
yeah,
Um, but
it's not budget friendly.
I couldn't justify that much.
It's not budget friendly whatsoever. But
Yeah.
yeah, but it's one of the top chairs I've seen. I spent an entire week watching reviews, watching everyone talk about it. I was like,
And
"That's
now
the
you see
chair."
why I went to him for
Yeah,
help.
I was like, that's the chair I want. Like, albeit, this week or rather last week, um, a lot of things came out. Um, one being the Apple event with the iPhone 12. Another being the RazorCon, where they did actually introduce a new chair. Their Razer
Yes,
chair.
they did.
Um, some people say it's like a Secret Labs because, but the thing is, how can you? What? It's a chair. What I'm trying to say is that
Yeah, I mean,
it
at the
looks
end
the
of the day, it's
same.
a chair. But I could basically use that same argument against you with Secret Lab. It's a
Okay,
chair.
okay. But I'm saying like their design looks like a Secret Lab design. That's what I'm trying to get
Well,
at.
all of the designs are going to look similar at this
Yeah,
point.
and Razer had to come out saying that we did not collab with Secret Labs in making this chair. Um, but yeah, so this week there's a lot of tech. Surprisingly, when I think about it, when I at the moment of viewing those tech stuff or events, it wasn't much. But now that I think back on it, I was like, wow, a lot of things did come out that week.
Minimum 4 new iPhones, which we're kind of met with because we're Android all the way.
And the only reason why we or I pay attention to it because I like to pay attention to the competition and see what they try to bring to the
I
table,
watched it. Well, actually, more specifically, I watched The Verge's video
like a 10 minute
on the
video.
event.
Yeah,
Well, 12 minutes. It was
yeah.
the Apple event in 12 minutes.
And the Apple event, I think, was like at least 2 hours long. I don't know, but it was long.
Listen, I'm interested in Apple. I'm not 2 hours interested
Okay,
in
yeah, I
Apple.
understand that. I mean, like they
Like
spent.
at the 12-minute video, I was reaching my limit.
Oh yeah,
But
but okay. If you guys do look up the 12-minute Verge Apple event, at one point I think around 3 minutes and 40 some seconds when they introduced something. I think it was about the glass they use. I think it is. I think yeah, it's about the ceramic shields or whatever they called it for their glass. The
Yeah.
announcer said iPhone 11 glass or something. Like it was a huge like what? Wait a minute. I
I
have to
don't
ask.
know if it's that
It
huge,
wasn't
but
huge, okay, but the person announcing it, made a little mistake. She was off by one number, but still, one
yeah, and it was
number.
also a recording, so they probably could have just gone and redid that.
Yeah, yeah, it is recorded now that I think about it. Yeah, a lot of
So I do.
yeah. Go on.
So before I go over some of the things that I did like, that I did see, and I do wish, like, you know, Google does pick up.
Hmm.
Why don't we talk about like the phones themselves and specs on them, or do you think it's just kind of like, listen, if you're interested in it, you'll know that
Okay,
information.
okay. The reason why I would say like if you're interested, look for yourself, mainly because in the event they don't give us like actual specifications besides the cameras. I'll give you that. But I'm like,
Yeah,
I want,
and we're two people who are kind of mad with cameras.
yeah,
It's
like,
great to have them. I'm much more of a software guy. That's one of the reasons why I like Google, because they don't put a ton of money into the
mhm.
hardware. It's mostly the software.
Yeah, because that's the background in it. But Apple likes to do this thing of telling you but not telling you at the same time. Like they don't tell
They're
you.
good at telling white lies.
Yeah, they're not
They're telling the truth, but not the full truth.
or not they're just not telling anything of the truth. We don't know because it's Apple. But I'm not insinuating that Apple
They could be,
lies.
possibly. Maybe it's happening
We
right
don't
now.
know. It could be a theory, you know. But oh, excuse me. Ooh, my throat. Anyways,
You
yeah.
good?
Oh well, my throat's a little dry because of we had another podcast we did earlier, and if you're interested, it's called Weeb Talk. We just started it. A plug. But anyways,
We just started it, what, like 30 minutes ago?
yeah, yeah.
Or
If you're
first
in,
episode was recorded.
yeah, we were doing two recordings, and it just happened that this would be the second one. But anyways, if you're interested in anime, manga, or any of the weeb stuff, uh, it's gonna be our channel. It's gonna be under Weeb Talk, so hop on over. But anyways, uh,
Join us.
join
See a whole
us.
new side of us.
Yeah, where things are a bit different. But anyways, like
Just
yeah,
a bit.
I'll leave it to the weeb talk of us to deal with you guys.
I'll leave it to Weeb, Jack, and Jacob.
Right now, it's the tech futurist. So,
Yes.
what was I going on about again? About Apple?
The truth, but not the truth.
Yeah. So, what Apple likes to do is that they'll tell you one thing, but not the whole thing. An example is their battery life. Other tech companies, such as Samsung and Google, I think Google does it too, where they tell you the milliamps of the phone, like how many milliamps
Yeah,
are in a battery. Whereas
Google
Google, whereas
does that.
sorry, not Google, Apple will say it's 3 times more efficient, 3 times more bigger. I'm like, okay, what is the specification? Nope, nothing of that. The only time we know the specification is when people do like a teardown, like jerry rig everything. He does a teardown of things. If you don't know jerry rig everything about this point, and you're into like phones and stuff, watch him. He does a fantastic job of like testing the screen level. Like one of the most famous quotes he has is, "Scratches on level 5 and a deeper groove of level 6." Something along those lines. Because he has
Yeah,
like,
I need to watch him more.
oh yeah, because he literally does a durability test and everything, and tears down obviously of the phone, and he points out certain things are a bit concerning for Samsung wise, because Samsung has two production. One is in South Korea, and one is the rest of the world. What I mean is that they use their own Exynos chip in South Korea, or in some international models as well. And then they use the Snapdragon in America, since chipsets are a bit more easier if you just use the chipsets already regulated in certain countries. And having to regulate Exynos is a bit pain in the ass since it's a different country. But besides the point is that he does a pretty good job in tearing down and telling you the hardware and stuff. He is more of a hardware kind of person, but he'll talk about software depending how well it goes with the phone. Um, yeah, but that's about it. Yeah, but Apple will only tell you in increments of how many times better than it is in their other phone. That's all they say. They never tell you the like minute specifications. Besides the camera, since it's out there, they're trying to push the camera. Where
Yeah.
um,
But which, don't get us wrong, camera's great,
camera's
blah,
great,
blah.
but
It
it's
all companies do that,
yeah,
and but, I mean, we'll just be a little more salty about it because we really don't kinda care about the cameras. At this point in time,
yeah,
the cameras are so good, like, any, like, small things and doodads they add to it are just gonna be exactly that, small things and doodads,
yeah. If
you know?
anything, any of the big production companies or anything like that, they're not gonna just jump on. And say, hey, I'm gonna use an iPhone 12 to shoot this entire production. No,
Yeah.
like
If you're at that point, you have your own camera, and you probably are taking that camera wherever you're going.
you have your own rig, you have everything that's on the professional level. Like even though Apple calls their stuff pro as in professional, possibly, but if anything, it's more for the amateur pros, like people who wants to get
Yeah.
into the field but doesn't have the budget to get like
Or the
a yeah,
equipment.
yeah the equipment that can cost like thousands, if not 10,000s, depending on what you're
Yeah.
getting.
Like, right now, I have a Pixel 4 XL.
Hmm.
If I was more interested into it, which I'm not,
Hmm.
I could go out and shoot an incredibly low budget video,
Yeah,
and it would look pretty damn good. Albeit, shot wise and all of that and specifics probably would look horrible because I'm not a video person.
you're not you're not a cameraman or anything like those.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But look wise or quality wise, it would look pretty damn good
Yeah.
because, and I could probably do the same thing with my Pixel 2
Hmm.
and also look pretty good.
Hmm. I know. I need to stand it because my ass hurts. I mean,
Okay, do
pur-
whatever what you want to
pur-
do, bud.
purple goes a long way, eh? And also because we got this new mic with the actual like arm, so we can
Yeah, it comes
adjust
with an arm stand, which is really, really nice.
and we can actually adjust and stuff like that.
So if we want to stand like Jack is doing now,
Mhm.
I mean, you guys can't see it, but trust me, he's standing.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Shit, I lost my train of thought again. God.
Oh man, professionals.
we're
We're
not.
not even close.
We're not.
We're not even
We're okay.
close.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Yeah, professional wise, if you're a professional, you're gonna have a DSL camera no matter what. You're gonna have top of the.
And Jack and I have had DSLR cameras
Oh yeah,
before.
and that's a whole nother thing.
I think Jack you still have it, right?
I still have my DSL camera. It's somewhere. I I I,
Somewhat.
I spent like $300 on it. It's somewhere there, um, but yeah, I would say me and Jacob don't take pictures. We don't take selfies and all like
Eh,
that.
Yeah, any pictures and selfies we take are usually just to send to each other,
Yeah,
or like, oh man, that was a super cool car. Let me get a picture of that. Oh, and it's gone.
yeah. Well, yeah. So like, if anything, these like awesome camera hardware are only for like people who's trying to get into it. It doesn't have the budget, I would say.
Yeah, and on top of that, and this is one of the biggest reasons why I love software so much. I mean, with a lot of the Google's cameras, they kind of kept the camera hardware the same.
Hmm.
I'm sure they made upgrades to it, but it was the software that they kept upgrading, making better. Because with the software, you could put that on older phones, and
Hmm.
now that camera looks better.
Hmm. Yeah, and so still on the Apple topic, other things they mentioned is what is it? Oh, the floor lineup. You have the 12. I'm not gonna keep saying iPhone, but just know
Yeah,
it's iPhone.
yeah.
The
And
12
this is
mini.
the segment of the talk. We don't we probably won't talk about Apple a lot, considering we're both massive Android guys. I
The
mean,
only time, yeah, the only time we will be talking about Apple is just to
it's for
know,
times like
yeah, like to know the competition in a
to
way.
know our competition, to know our enemy.
Exactly. And so, anyways,
I mean,
so
I recently just ordered a bunch of merch from Google that was Android stuff. I now have an Android shirt and an Android hat, if that explains anything. And an Android water bottle.
me on a different level, I like to have like these little things, such as pens. I almost went down and just bought 10 Android pens and 10 Google pens. But then,
Yeah, I had to talk him out of that because it's 2020. I'm sure, pens have their place in time. You don't need 10.
okay, so in the end, I settled down for one each. But still, they're really good quality. Going off topic now.
Anyway.
So they have the 12 mini, which is the smallest lineup, starting at $699. Then the 12, which is about $100 more. 12 Pro, starting at $999, and the 12 Pro Max, starting at 1099, which is 1099.
Jack, do
Um,
you want to talk about that article that gets us both infuriated about
yes,
this?
Jacob, we will talk about that article that really pissed us off. Well, not really pissed off us, but more like why?
Infuriated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's like I
we
saw
can
that.
talk about it. We can talk about it a little later if you want. It's just
I
like,
yeah,
wow.
yeah. I'll talk about the end of the Apple segment, sort of. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
so yeah, so the four lineup, and they went back to the 4S series, but it's like boxy, not curved edges and
Yeah,
screens.
and I actually like the more boxy. I had an iTouch. I've held the older iPhones because I have some family who uses iPhones for
Mm-hmm.
some strange reason. Don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I do like it a lot better than the
Curved.
curved. It
It,
just feels better.
yeah, in your hand you can hold it a lot better than curved screens. Um, Now for me, if in my opinion, not my personal opinion, if you are stuck between buying the iPhone 11 and iPhone 12, whether it being the mini in the 12 series, mini Pro or Pro Max, um, it really depends on what phone you're coming from. Say if you're coming from the 11, there really is no point, because it's literally almost the same thing, if not a slightly better one. And that's it. It's still the A14 chipset, which is I believe is also on the 11, or is it A13? But still, it's still the same thing. Battery wise, they claim it's three times better, which I do not know since we don't have the actual specifications for those. And camera wise, unless you don't use the camera a lot, there's no point. Um,
Yeah.
However, if you still on iPhone stuff, what are you doing here? Uh, we're
Stay, stay, stay. We like you too.
yeah, yeah, sure,
But
yeah,
we just like you a little less.
yeah. We like it a little less, but if you're here for our other reviews on other stuff, by all means. But if you're on a
Because a
higher,
lot of this is going to be bashing Apple.
yeah, yeah, because
We do have some good things to say about it,
yeah,
and like there were some things that I was actually impressed by that I would totally be down if it's put on more Android phones.
yeah. So
But I'll say that a little later.
yeah, I'll say this quickly since it's not really a huge topic, but if you're coming from an iPhone 10 before the XR series or SX series, I would say if you're looking for an upgrade, obviously go for the 12. Mainly because that's only $100 more compared to the 11.
Yeah, one thing that I at least love to say is, quality over quantity.
Yeah,
Yes, you could be saving $100, but you're gonna be You're gonna be happier just to pay that extra 100
yeah,
to get the more quality
or
item.
yeah, the more recent stuff. And
Yeah, like for example, with my chair, yes, I could have spent like an extra $100, but I mean, you you got to put things in relativity.
Yeah.
If it was like an extra $15, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
But
50 is a bit pushing it, but you're okay with 50 in that, and because you're
well, I
paying,
said 15.
I know, but I'm saying like 50, I would say is like your
I don't
maximum.
know if I would have paid like 50 more.
Okay, how about 30 more?
It depends.
Yeah, because like it's
But
yeah.
but like that's the thing. That's the thing. Like go for the more quality. Like for and here's another example. I when I got the Pixel 4 XL,
Hmm.
all of my Pixel 2 and my Nexus 5X, I got the smaller version because I don't need a giant phone.
Hmm.
But with the Pixel 4, it was an extra $100 for multiple things, and the biggest reason why I went for it was because of the battery.
Hmm.
The battery life, you know, isn't the best.
Hmm.
It's if I remember correctly, the Pixel 4s have the lowest battery life out of the entire Pixel line.
Hmm.
And, seeing that, I was like, okay, maybe I should, you know, for an extra $100, I get like that much more battery life.
Hmm.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, for so an iPhone case, because you're going from 11 to a 12, and you're already paying more than at least $700. Now, if you're spending that much, $100 more is not that much. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You got to put everything into like relativity.
yeah. So yeah, if you're coming from 11, I would say it's not worth it because all you're getting, and when you trade in, I don't know how much is the trade-in value of the iPhone 11s, but I'm pretty
Well, and
sure.
on top of that, they basically have been doing that for the past few years. If
Yeah,
you remember, what was it? I think it was like Steve Wozniak that was like he has the 10, which is basically the 11, which is basically the Max.
yeah. So
Yeah,
they're quite similar, and I don't know. It's more of like if you want to get the next one, then go for it. But don't. At some point, you're just wasting money.
yeah.
But
Like, don't get it because it's the newest and greatest thing. Because when you actually look at the specs and whatnot, they end up just and that's the reason why we don't like Apple so much because it's like for the past few years, all the phones have basically been
the
the
same
same.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's nothing new. Like with Pixel and Samsung, there's like these new features about them that like makes it like, wow, this is like really cool. Like with the Pixel 4 XL, they introduced lidar.
mm-hmm.
On the Pixel phones, you could squeeze them to activate the assistant. I don't think on the Pixel 5, which I'm kind of like a little angry about because
I
I
think
do
people
love
don't. Not many
squeezing my
people
phone.
use that. That's why.
I use it constantly. Well,
Uh,
I think the other reason is because now that they switched to the gesture navigation,
mm,
you could just swipe up from the bottom
mm-hmm.
or like from a corner to activate it.
Yeah.
But there's like these features that make it stand out from its predecessor.
Like for example, and more evidently on the Samsung side, is that when they first introduced the Samsung S8, that's when they have the infinity display, where the top notch, the top of the screen, which is called the notch, and the bottom of the screen called the chin, where the chin and the notch are almost non-existent. I would say almost because there's still like a slight bar, uh, but it's almost like as they call it infinity display because it's like it's there. That's a bigger screen ratio. Then comes around this S10 series, which is last year, which is they come out with the hole punch, where there's a literal hole punch in the screen for the cameras.
Which I love the hole punch, by the way.
Oh
I
yeah,
think it looks
oh yeah.
fantastic.
Well,
The Pixel 5, I believe, has a hole punch now, and I love it.
yeah,
I love the look of it.
yeah. Whereas the Pixel 4 had the
It's the
notch.
classy look.
Yeah.
No, no, the Pixel 4 doesn't have a notch.
Oh no, there was a Pixel 3. Was it?
The
I remember.
Pixel 3 had the
Yeah,
notch.
the Pixel 3 had a
And
notch.
I think that looks so ugly.
Yeah.
My mother, I think, has the Pixel 3, and yeah,
one of the reasons why it's a lot more earlier than Apple's is because it has a deeper in and like a shorter width, sort
I
of.
mean, I didn't like the Apple notch either.
Yeah,
I think the notches,
I
like from day one, I thought they looked ugly. And as soon as I saw the hole punch, I was like, that is fantastic. That solves
yeah,
the issue.
yeah. And then from S10, when they first introduced the hole punch, they made the hole punch a lot smaller since then. Um,
Yeah.
Now next year leaks. or rumors, they're gonna take it out completely, the whole punch. Because
Really?
I don't know exactly what kind of technology they're working on, but a lot of people are pointing more of in-display cameras. I mean,
Yeah.
there have been some companies that's been working on it and has phones like that, but we
Yeah,
don't.
it's definitely going to be interesting because the color could definitely, they'll have to basically be like, oh, you're using the camera now. We have to like black this area out so it doesn't mess with the camera.
Well, I mean, then again, if you go into camera mode, it's gonna be blacked out regardless because you have to square the camera square, and you
Well,
have
yeah.
so it's gonna I don't they're gonna work
Well,
on.
they're going to have to do that.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do that, but yeah, and it's not on the, I would say, the flagship level where everyone's doing it. There's only smaller companies that's like testing the idea and basically,
Research.
yeah, or people that's hoping for these big companies to buy them out. I would say.
Yeah, a lot of R&D going on.
hmm but yeah, and okay, now a few things that really pissed me off with Apple before we get on the good side. They they want they want to be environmentalists, and now they have decided
Uh,
to take out the wall charger,
I do want to say that now they are starting to switch those to USB-C, which we do love
but
USB-C. They
but
haven't changed the other end to USB-C and
but
stick with
yes,
the Thunderbolt
exactly.
charger.
They're
So you
they're
still have to buy their stuff.
you don't have to buy their stuff. You can just buy like a USB C wall charger, which I do have one.
Well, no,
Um,
no, no. I mean, no, I mean cable.
okay, yeah, okay. Wait. So right now, what iPhone has decided to do is, yes, they're changing up one side of the port, and that port is the wall charger port. They still kept it Lightning cable, so it's from Lightning cable to
So
USB
you
C.
still have to buy their stuff.
You still have to buy their cable, and it's
There's
from.
a there's that great College Humor video where it goes like where it goes like over the ports of
Mhm,
iPhone, and
mhm.
it's like halfway through this video, we changed the port again.
Yeah, and it's like, well, it's like they kept it aligning
It's
cables for a while. Now that I think about it, for I think
yeah,
since,
they have to jump on the USB C
well, I mean,
bus. It
they're halfway there.
and they're not living on a prayer though.
Yeah, but I mean, but hey, they did it for the new MacBooks. You know,
Yeah,
um,
but they did it too much.
yeah, they just
They removed the MagSafe charger, which like that was one of the best parts
mhm,
about it.
yeah, and we are
Like
gonna talk about
I
MagSafe.
bought I what?
No, I'm saying we are gonna talk about the MagSafe feature on iPhone
Oh
12.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I got a magnetic charger for my headphones
hmm
and my not my Pixel 4. I have it plugged into my Nexus right now, so
hmm
I could just magnetically charge him because the idea of MagSafe is so amazing
And
because you just put it in, and if you trip, you don't have your computer flying across the room, and now you have to pay another $2,000 to for a new one, or like 750 to repair it.
so if you guys don't know what MagSafe is or when he means magnetically charged, it's basically you have
Magnetically safe.
well, you said magnetically charging, but anyways, it's basically a an input port into your phone or your device, and it just has just that portion, and at the other end or the outside end is magnetic, and it connects to a receiver or whatever, a wire that has like compatible pins and stuff that magnetically attach to itself. So in some cases, it's great. Like let's say you have it charged and the wires across the table or something, and someone walks past it, and the usual thing is that if you walk past it and you caught the line, the phone will come flying with it. But with the MagSafe portion, the cord will just detach magnetically, or how like magnets when you pull them apart, and just detach
Yeah.
that, and the phone won't go flying across the room.
Yeah, I'm almost under the belief that like all like not all cables should do it, but all like charging things should
Yeah,
have that.
yeah.
Not not like cars and whatnot. I'm talking about like
phone.
phones, laptops, and
But still, I
Mac.
would still like to have the opinion of being able to not do that. Because like in some cases, what if like the pins got dirty? You know, in some cases, what if it got
Yeah, yeah.
there's a
Well, I
lot
mean,
of
you could say that. You could say that if it wasn't MagSafe.
yeah yeah. But it's like there's just certain
You know,
things.
there's literally an argument for both sides of
Yeah
it, but you could use those same arguments for not having it too.
yeah. So nonetheless, it's MagSafe is a
I
great
mean, my mouse, my Razer Naga Pro, is also technically MagSafe
yeah
because
yeah
I got the dock for it, and when I put it on, it magnetically guides me into place, and then
hmm
I could just very, very, very easily just take it off.
yeah. So now the last bit of why I'm kind of mad about Apple is because they're not pulling a wall charger in the box. They're also not giving you free headphones in the box. What's all that's coming in that box is the phone
I'm
and a
I'm kind of okay with that.
lightning cable to USB C, and that's it.
I'm kind of okay with the no earphones.
Well,
I
yeah,
mean, yeah, I know they've always done it in the past, but listen, my past 2 or 3 phones, they don't come with
at least it
earphones.
came with like a converter for you, right?
A converter?
Like from a dongle, sorry, USB C
Oh
to
yeah, to yeah
aux.
to convert one phone to another. No, no, no aux.
No, I remember to give you an aux
No,
from headphone to USB C.
no.
Unless you bought it, and I just assumed that you got it
I
with it.
bought it.
Okay, yeah, maybe I just assumed it. But yeah,
Yeah, because my Nexus 5X was the last phone that I had that had an audio jack.
yeah.
Um, then when I moved to the Pixel 2, which doesn't have it,
No, I'm pretty sure
um,
it did came with an aux to USB
nope,
C for you.
nope,
No, I mean you had the
nope.
phone, so I remember
And
seeing that.
I have the adapter somewhere. I went and bought that
Oh,
because
okay.
I also like having around like a shit pair of earbuds
hmm
to just like literally throw into like my bag because I mean, yeah, like my Pixel Buds and my headphones, those go into a case and I treat them very well.
hmm
And my shit phones, I just like throw into my bag. If they get tangled, great, whatever. I'll spend the time untangling them. But if someone steals those, then I paid like $10 for them.
Yeah.
I'm I'm out $10 versus my Pixel Buds, which are $180, or my Bose Quiet Comfort 35 2 headphones,
hmm
which are like $300.
But yeah, so they're trying to the Apple's saying it's for so that we can shrink down the size of the box or for the environment and stuff. But what about the charger? I need a bike charger. You still have to pay additional money to buy the
Yeah,
charger,
you
what's
you
also in the
still need
packaging
to now like cough up more money
from Apple.
for
You don't have to buy Apple stuff because us Android has already pioneered the USB-C sale, the journey for that. And that's why
yes,
I am
luckily.
mad with Apple. Another reason is because when they started with the MacBooks with the USB-C, all the USB ports, prices, everything in that particular order, or not order, but like in that field of things, it just went up at least like 20%. Like,
Yeah, which sucks for us Android people
because we've been
because
at it for
now,
years, and now we have to
yeah,
pay the consequences of Apple. What the heck? So
yeah.
yeah,
I
um,
mean, I've been at it longer than you because my Nexus 5X, I believe. Let me just double check because I don't want to be spewing any lies. Yeah, my Nexus 5X was USB C.
yeah. I the only time I got the USB C was the Samsung S8.
Yeah,
Um,
I've been on USB C like for almost like 6 years now, basically.
yeah, and a lot of other stuff like my headphones, my overhead headphones, Sony's, are USB C, which I'm happy about.
Yeah,
Um,
which I'm 100% jealous of.
yeah, his is not.
Like that is the only thing I don't like about my Bose Quiet Comfort 35 too.
It's because it's in
Headphones.
micro. Because yeah, um,
But I do have the magnetic charger on it, so
mhm,
I just carry around a magnetic cable,
mhm.
which I just hook up and it starts charging, which is completely fine.
And now this is gonna be the last tidbit before we actually say some good things about Apple. The last tidbit is being that, well, the reason why it is not really a good, not a good, but like a reason why to jump from 11 to 12 is because one, they don't have not even 90 hertz display refresh rate or 120 like most current flagship does, and
I want to say something about that. I'm
mhm,
kind of mad with that. Like, yes, my phone does have 90 hertz, but
mhm.
I mean, there's a certain level that I don't think people really care about that. I think that's more for tech people like us.
Yeah, yeah, but still, I would like to still have the feature. Like they have these features, like every other phone has, but why not Apple? You know,
No, no, no. I do see where you're coming from, but
like
again, the average person
yeah, okay, average person
isn't
wouldn't
going
notice
to
it.
care about
Yeah, no,
that.
they wouldn't.
A tech savvy person
They
will
would.
care, and then tech, then actual tech people like us, we care. I mean, I'm more kind of mad about it, but
But
we care.
the thing is, if you use a phone or anything that has a high refresh rate and go back down, you'll notice the difference.
I don't.
Well, because that's only 90, not like double.
I mean, shit, man.
Yeah, because like when you're double, like I literally see people reviewing, like tech reviewers showing off, and I'm like, wow, there's a huge
Well,
difference.
we can't see that very well because you know.
No, no, we can't see it, but when you use a 120 hertz display for at least a week or two, and you go back to a 60 hertz screen display, you notice it because your eyes are getting used to the 120. You notice it. It's how I
Yeah.
like. It's how I said last week about my mouse. How at first,
Oh, yeah.
they're so similar, but once I start using my MX3s for a while and go back to the two, I'm like, wow, it's so clunky now. Like everything is a bit different. And there's a for as Jacob says, as for the average user, it means nothing to them. Um,
Yeah. I
so
mean, I say our, a lot of what we talk about
yeah,
isn't going to matter to the average. Like, there are some things where, like, oh yeah, like this cable is pretty cool, or this or that. But to an average user,
yeah,
most of what we talk about has absolutely no meaning to them. Which
yeah,
I think everyone who's even like listening to this would kind of agree with.
yeah,
You know, the tech world doesn't like the tech world. The average user doesn't care about. They want something that works. Whoops, hit my microphone. They want something that works. They don't
yeah.
want that. They don't care about the specs. They want something that can last a while and work until they need to upgrade and spend another extra $1,000.
And last thing of Apple, the bad side, I would say, don't try to play it off. Apple shouldn't try to play it off as the first people to do 5G. It really bugs me that they at their event card or whatever they want to call it, the invitation card or whatever, they literally went hi, comma speed, like high speed, like high speed. I know I'm like
Oh,
repeating
I
myself.
get it. Like
Yeah,
HIGHP.
yes,
Oh, it actually did take me a second.
yeah. It's like it's saying hello speed and then to high speed. I'm like, okay, people were speculating at that when it came out. Speculating like, oh, 5G came out. Every phone from 12 mini to 12 Pro Max has 5G, and then I'm out here thinking we had that since like last year at least.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe what they're talking about is it's a lot more stable now.
Well, yeah, like it's more to
Which
the
I'm
point
sure it is a lot more stable, but there's no reason.
because
Like,
yeah,
I think we had this conversation
yeah, we talked
already
about
where
last
like
week
there's
where
no reason to get a 5G phone yet.
there's no
Well,
reason.
like
Well, there's
maybe you should, so like people can like a lot more people can start using it and it becomes a lot more stable. But you
yeah,
know,
I think what we're saying now is there's no point of paying extra for the 5G. Like if it came
yeah,
with basic like standard,
if it comes with it, great.
yeah,
If it doesn't,
there's no
yeah,
point.
maybe pick and choose your
Yeah,
battles.
there's no point of paying extra to get the 5G at this point. One, like as we said last week, one, there aren't enough 5G cell towers,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
and it's usually in areas where there's a lot of people, not in the suburbs. So if you're in the suburbs and you have 5G, you can't really use it. So
Yeah,
there's
I'm in the suburbs, and like there are certain areas uh, over here where like I'll drive a lot. Like sometimes before I had to work from home, on my way to work, there's this like one area where if my song switched
mhm,
or if like a radio needed to buffer,
mhm,
I wouldn't have any connection.
right. Yeah.
So
So
like I go to the next song in this next area, and it just wouldn't play. I'm like, well, it looks like I'm spending the next 3 minutes in complete silence.
yeah. And now, enough of that. Uh, one good thing I'll have to say is the MagSafe, as Jacob had
Yes,
mentioned.
I love that. That is like so cool how they are doing that. Where like they have the four corners, so if you have a wireless charger, you can basically snap it in place. I adore that concept, and
So
I really, really, really hope that like Google, like for the Pixel 6, which I will totally be getting.
yeah.
Hopefully, I'll be getting
So for
if they don't.
those who don't know why MagSafe, or in this case, the MagSafe is on the iPhone, they basically have like a magnetic ring in the phone, or
Magnetic. Yeah.
yeah, in the phone where they'll have their own magnetic wireless power thing charger, and where basically you can just slide your phone on it and it'll just, like Jacob said, snap into place. Whereas currently the phones, when you place on the wireless charging pads, you have to like put it in a
You have to
center.
fit.
You have to
Or like
maneuver around. There really
like
isn't
I have
like,
a Pixel stand, and sometimes I have to fiddle with it.
yeah. So there really isn't like like, not like, there's no like one hit wonder, or like, oh, not one hit wonder, like, you know,
No, yeah, no, I'm fine with the one hit wonder because like it not all the time can you just place your phone on and it starts
yeah.
charging. It's
Whereas with the MagSafe, uh, it'll snap into the air or kind of move it towards
and
you.
it'll be in a place, and if it's not charging, then something is wrong.
Yes. So that's the good part of that's coming out from the event, because usually with Apple, they'll
And that's it.
yeah, and one of the few good parts with Apple is that when they start pioneering something, everyone else wants to do that too. Even though
Yeah, I
whether it
really
be,
hope Google picks it up.
yeah, whether being bad or good, such as losing the headphone jack, which is, I don't get why, it's just a little thing.
I'm completely fine with it.
Now you are, but at the time it was like, why?
No, I was still kind of fine with it.
For me it was why, because I had headphones for
No, no,
years.
yeah, you it was right. For me, I was like, it makes total sense. It was taking up space where when they got rid of it, they could add a lot more technology into the device.
It's a tiny little space though.
Yeah, but this is how, and I'm saying this because I'm holding up my phone. This is how much real estate they have. Every little space
Well,
counts.
with anything, you can watch everything, and he'll say, if you watch the earlier videos when they start taking off headphone jacks, he'll say like, it's only 3.5 millimeters of space that's taken up. But if you watch his earlier videos when he's talking about it, you can actually see how much real estate that's been taken up, or how much real estate he could have just saved for the headphone jack. But
Yeah, and
um,
like I was totally on board with that.
mhm.
Um,
But Apple started it all,
yeah,
so
Apple did start that. I did hate the notch
yeah.
uh era. Oh,
Yeah, for you. Who knows? They might bring it back again.
I sure hope not. If the Pixel 6 has a notch, I may skip it. I
Well,
may just
well, don't forget, because the Pixel 4, your current phone, has the radio wave thingy.
the lidar,
Yeah, the lidar. Um,
which I completely like.
but I don't know
Um,
about the Pixel. I'm forgetting about the Pixel 5, because it's
Pixel
literally
5
just,
does not.
yeah. So yeah, so I'm saying
It
like,
has the fingerprint scanner,
yeah. So like
which I which don't get me wrong. Like I was really disappointed to see that the Pixel 4 didn't have the fingerprint scanner. I was
yes.
completely disappointed because one of the best parts about about the fingerprint scanner is when I, at least for me, when I reach my hand into my pocket and grab my phone,
Mhm.
my finger automatically would go on the fingerprint scanner. So by the time it was in my face, it was there. It was also something really nice to kind of play around with. Just rub
Mm-hmm.
your finger along.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but so I was really disappointed. And now that I see that they're bringing it back, it's like cool. But they're getting rid of the lidar. Oh,
Yeah.
like
Good.
they spent all this research and money into the lidar.
Yeah, and
And
they're really
now,
like Google's really like, let's try this, try that. Okay, I didn't say the trigger word. I
I
lied to
heard
my yeah,
that.
I didn't say the trigger word, and it just went off.
No, it was close enough.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah, it's like that, and
Yeah, and
Google,
Google does that with a lot of things, and
yeah,
like you see over the years, like with Google Music, like Google Music, I think has almost officially been shut down
yeah,
at this point.
yeah.
Which I loved Google Music. It knew what it was. It didn't try to be anything else.
Hmm.
While with YouTube Music, they're trying to do a little too much.
They're trying to compete with the other
Yeah,
music,
which
like Spotify
which
and
is like really kind of shitty because like there's some songs that I've listened to
hmm
that I can't find on YouTube Music,
hmm
because even though they're songs, YouTube Music doesn't consider them to be songs.
yeah. Okay, and now we're oh wow, we're at 50-minute mark.
Really?
Yes, yes. Um,
Jeez, these 2 hours, and as we said in the beginning with Weeb Talk, like we just finished that one.
yeah,
These 2 hours felt like 10, like, no, I'll give us a little, like more like 30 minutes total.
yeah. We talk a lot, and we just we bounce off our ideas.
Ew.
We go off a little bit off topic,
We
but
were planning on talking about like other things too, not just spend the entire time talking about Apple.
we did talk about other things during it. But
Well,
okay,
yeah.
well, quickly, I didn't think about this until I saw an article. It was about MagSafe. It could potentially demagnetize credit cards.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Please don't say that. I don't want to think. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like am. I feel like I shouldn't talk about this, but I have my phone and my wallet in two different pockets.
I mean, you should, because a lot of the
Should. This is a hard should. Everyone listening should.
yeah, because a lot of because I know for Samsung and because we still have most Android phones has NFC tags, and
Yeah.
every so often when I put my
Oh
phone
yeah.
every so often I put my phone on top of my wallet, and a lot of the new credit cards or cards in general have these like tap feature, and my phone would just
Yeah,
say
yeah.
my
Your
phone
phone would
would
go like, "Hey, what do you want me to do with this?"
yeah my phone would just pop on and say tag not support. Like, huh? What are you picking up?
Yeah.
And I realized, oh, it was the credit card. Oh,
Well, I
speaking.
do have the things that Robert Herjavec from Shark Tank
Mhm.
invested in for I think it's more RFID stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but it's like complete blockers for it. And
yeah,
I did get those, but that's not NFC.
yeah. So, anyways, but the article does continue saying there are cases, so that it does protect your credit cards.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, they should. If they don't, then they are doing on purpose so that way they can push the Apple Card. Um.
Uh, yeah. The
Of
Apple Card now you can get with your Apple fridge and your Apple TV
no,
and
no, no,
Apple app.
no, because Samsung was there in the game way before any of those people. You have the Samsung
You
fridge.
know, at one point Apple is going to try to make a fucking TV.
They already they already have something called Apple TV,
No, yeah, no, but they'll call it iTV.
probably, but
Or
Samsung
they'll call it IV.
or iVision.
Ivan?
Oh, probably I'll be more for like their glass, like
No,
if they
that'll be glasses, yeah.
yeah, um,
That'll be when they do AR stuff.
yeah, but so yeah, quickly now, I have a little funny story. Is that my sister has the iPhone 8, and obviously the Samsung S10 Plus. At one point, my phone was there, and she put her phone on top of my phone. And you know what it triggered? It triggered her NF or like near NFC or near field connected. I don't know the technical term.
Near field
Yeah,
communication.
NFC.
You almost had
Yeah, I was
it.
there. I was there. I just know.
You were there. It was
It,
the last one.
yeah. Um, and it triggered that, and it basically triggered her Apple Pay. I was like, huh.
Did your sister just pay you?
No, no, no. It triggered it. And it says, hey, give me a fingerprint or
Well, you
something.
also have reverse wireless charging, right?
Yes.
So did it start charging her phone?
No, I have to turn. It's an option. I have to turn on my phone.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they don't. They don't because
I've never played around with it.
well, because you don't have one. But yeah, you have.
Yes, I know, Jack.
Well,
Although the Pixel 6,
you don't know. Nah.
I don't, but the Pixel 5 does.
Yeah, and it's an option that you have to turn on because if not, it will be wasting batteries because it's sending out wireless charge.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
And
I'd actually am a little curious if if they would just kind of do it like if it senses like an NFC. Well, then every device. Okay, never mind. I take that back.
yeah,
Never
it's
mind.
an option that yeah, I know what you're trying to get. Like it senses the NFC, so it should turn on the reverse wireless charger.
Yeah,
No,
but my Pixel Buds, I don't want them to have NFC. Although, you know what? No, I think they do have NFC because as soon as it got into like as soon as I opened them, my
yeah,
phone instantly was like, "Hey, I found Pixel Buds. You want me to pair them?"
yeah. That's sending like yeah. And at one point, my sister was like, "Wait, I have wireless charging on my phone." I was like, "Yes." Ever since they have the glass backs, I'm forgetting when was the glass back started.
I I actually with that, and I actually think about that. My grandparents recently were talking to me, so they got a new couch that comes with wireless charging.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe I had asked you, like, I sent you a message. Hey Jack, when did wireless charging start for Samsung?
Well, you didn't
And
say that specifically. You said
no, no,
like,
no, I was like, do these phones support wireless charging? And you're like, yes, it started at this point. And I told them, yeah, you guys have wireless charging. You could use that.
yeah.
And they were like, sold.
I mean, any phones that at this point, any phone that has the glass back support wireless charging. And I was telling my sister, "You have wireless charging." She's like, really? I was like, "Yeah, I'll prove it to you." I turn on reverse wireless charging and it charges. Like, oh, okay.
See, if you did that with me, I would have been like, you can wireless charge with your phone?
Yeah.
No, like I wouldn't even care that I have wireless charging. I'd just be like, "How you do that?"
Well, they introduced it because I believe Oppo at the time showed off, or was it Honor, the Huawei Mate.
Oh, I don't know. They both have two O's.
Yeah, one no, Huawei doesn't have those, but
You said honor.
yeah, the Honor line. Yeah, okay, okay,
Oh,
okay. But yeah, yeah, Huawei before it became the whole banning, I believe, had the reverse wireless charging, and Samsung was like, we gotta jump on that boat real quick, and
we need some of that.
yeah, so that's how they came out with the wireless buds that has reverse wireless charging on the phone. So that way, if your wireless buds run out of battery, you can use that to charge the thing. Blah blah blah. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so like I do have kind of like mixed feelings about wireless charging. I do think it does have some nice applications. But I also kind of think like why would you kind of waste your phone battery?
Well, it's for your sake.
Oh, okay.
I'm losing battery for you, my lady.
But like the first time I was actually like, oh, okay, now I'm hip with that was when I saw that with the Pixel 5 actually charging the Pixel Buds.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's where it made sense to me. Like, oh, okay, so to charge Pixel Buds for 10 minutes, which gets gained to like 2 hours,
Or
you know.
charge any other phones, or you can
But
show off.
it's the charging other phones I don't get because like if you need to charge someone else's phone, you're probably also at like maybe 80-70%.
Yeah, you're
You know,
also losing
You're
battery.
if you're at 100% and someone's asking you to charge their phone, you're probably right next to a wall that has a charger plugged in already.
Or you can show off to your Apple friends, like, hey.
Or you could show off to your Apple friends.
I,
Yes.
I can charge your phones.
Yeah. Hey, whip out that phone. I could charge it for you.
I don't need a cord or anything. And it's like, wait, I have wireless charging too? What?
And none of them are gonna like relish in the fact that like, how are you charging my phone with your phone?
Exactly. Well, and the reason why I would say to the viewers is that many people don't know they have wireless charging on Apple devices. It's because they don't have a wireless charging pad. They
Yeah,
didn't.
they do.
They do. I, I
Yeah.
don't. I don't think they have like before the MagSafe. I don't think they have like actual like
No,
Apple
no,
branded.
because they also showed off the folding one.
Well, that's the MagSafe this year. I'm just talking about when they first
No,
introduced
no,
wireless
no,
charging.
they do, they do.
I don't remember seeing actual Apple wireless
Because
charging
because
pad.
they don't advertise it as much.
Yeah, like even though they
That
have it.
that's not the market that they want to show because they want people to spend more money on cables because they know how easily the cables break.
Yeah.
You know, not showing any bias or anything.
Yeah. Um. I just want to quickly see. Yeah, no, I don't think Apple actually has a wireless charger, besides for the watches.
I
Um.
need to look this up.
Yeah.
Oh no, no. Well,
Wait, they do have like brand okayed with, like the key charger, uh the wireless key chargers, or oh yeah, Belkin. They have Belkin chargers for Apple. They don't have like Apple branded. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
iPhone. Oh, that's cool. An iPhone leather wallet with MagSafe. I I would 100% totally get a MagSafe charger for my phone if it
Yeah.
worked.
So
Like I would spend the $40 for an Apple MagSafe charger
yeah. So I was right.
if my phone had it. But with that said,
Hmm.
hoping Google puts it in, I will 100% get a Google one because I am a Google fanboy through and through.
So yeah. So I was saying they didn't have an actual branded wireless charging pad. They have
Yeah.
they outsource it to Belkin and other notable uh battery people. I can't even think of the word. Um, but yeah. So even though we wanted to talk about other topics and we
And
basically
we were actually completely able to get through this whole thing talking about Apple. So what do you
so
know? That's the longest I've talked about iPhones. Because
yeah
MacBooks, I do like. I do
yeah
like the
MacBooks
MacBook.
are great. Um, so at this point we're at like an hour or 3 minutes, and we usually
Yeah,
try to keep it around the hour range so it doesn't be too
yeah,
long. So
yeah,
if anything, this podcast this week's is gonna be by Apple. I mean,
yeah.
you can tell
I
from
mean,
the
let
time.
us know what your thoughts are on Apple. We're going to start the Apple Android war in the comments. Like, I mean, listen, don't argue with each other. You know, don't say this is better,
Well, okay,
because
you can say that, but you gotta provide evidence.
you have to provide evidence. You
You can't just say
cannot just say
it's
that
better.
this is better. If you do that, then no.
Your
We are
reasoning is
men of
invalid.
science.
Your
You
reasoning is
need
invalid.
evidence and logic to back it up. You can't say this is better because of this. We both of us, Jack and I, have we have our reasons why we like and think Android is better than Apple.
Yeah, yeah, and
We have that. So if you just say this is better, no, you need facts, evidence, and logic to back up your claim.
yeah. I
And
mean,
and that's for anything and everything that
hmm
we have. We
hmm
may say some things where like, no, I feel like this is better, but we'll usually say because of this.
right, right. So this is Jack
And Jacob.
signing off.